With me now is Bloomberg Opinion's senior columnist, Tim O'Brien. Hey, Tim, I want to talk more about this relief package, specifically the partisan split here. It is very popular. More than 3/4 of Americans support it. What is the disconnect between Republicans in Washington and how their constituents feel? How do Republicans justify rejecting the aid package?
Well, I think there's a classic argument here from conservatives that a minimum wage unfairly burdened small businesses that would go out of business or struggle if they had to meet a higher wage requirement. You certainly could create a minimum wage bill that has carve-outs for low-income areas, poorer communities, small businesses, et cetera, if you really wanted to get done. I think what both parties have to come to terms with, and I think what we as a country have to come to terms with, is the economic implications of income inequality. There's all sorts of social justice issues associated with that. But the reality is the United States economy has thrived for decades because we have the biggest middle class in the world. And a middle class that is a consumer class needs good wages to continue buying things. That results in stronger revenues and better profit margins for big companies and small companies if people can consume more. And if they can't, then profitability will suffer. And you're also going to get social divisions that we've seen in our politics now really blossom over the last 2 decades. A portion of that, an important portion of that, stems from income inequality. So we've got to get our arms around this. Corporate profitability has rebounded since COVID landed. The stock market has rebounded since COVID landed. But wage growth hasn't enough, especially for low and middle income workers. And if we can't do that through a minimum wage policy or a minimum wage bill, I think we're going to have to find other ways to deal with it.
What do you think those other ways could be? And I got to tell you, Tim, the way that you lay it out is not a way that I hear advocates laying it out frequently in Washington. It's a very compelling case.
It's unfortunate they don't lay it out this way. We all benefit from an economy that enfranchises everyone, and people can still get wealthy in this country. People can still take home lots of savings and do very well. No one is going to get beggared by a more robust minimum wage policy. I don't know why the argument's not framed that way, Tim. I think people should, but I think what ultimately came up in terms of the politics of this is Democrats didn't believe they could get a COVID-19 stimulus plan through with a minimum wage component embedded inside of it, regardless of what the Senate parliamentarian decided. She said it wasn't in keeping with a bill of this nature, which is fine. But if the White House really wanted to, they could have overridden that. I think there's a real politique calculation here on the Biden White House's part that they don't want to sacrifice everything in this bill to keep a minimum wage bill afloat inside of it, or a minimum wage policy afloat inside the broader bill. And that's the decision they've made.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.